Satellite towns should offer much space as a barest minimum of civilized urban development. They do not do so because of a false notion that cities must be congested. In truth, allocation of urban space on lines with many big cities, one example is New York City, will not only 1% of the country's land area to accommodate the entire urban population of India. So the problem is not physical but political and cultural. A few of the examples which I can quote is that we too face a very difficult situation at this point of time to move even the people to towns like Vizag and Kakinada or Vijayawada because they feel that the lack of facilities like schools, corporate hospitals or malls or even evening socialization in the evening, socializing in the evening and all those things. So therefore, I think it becomes extremely important for see how we can develop the satellites town too. Impact of new land acquisition act on urban infrastructure. It is relevant to discuss about the impact of new land acquisition act on urban infrastructure. The objective of land acquisition is to ensure people losing land should be adequately compensated. We observe that this will help the acquired land to be more assured of the acquisition process and thereby rule out problems of unwarranted claims and issues of inadequate compensation. The provisions of the bill will be applicable in cases of land acquisition of 50 acres in urban areas and 100 acres in rural areas. The compensation for land will now at least double in urban areas and will go up by 4 times in rural areas according to the new LARR guidelines. Thus, the cost of land acquisition will surely go up for all projects irrespective of them being a government or private-public partnerships projects, as they will to adhere to the new as they will have to adhere to the new norms as prescribed by the government. Further, the clause of mandatory consent of 80% of owners for private projects and consent of 70% landowners of PPP projects will delay the process of land acquisition and the projects in turn. As land titles are not clearly documented in our country, it will take some time to change the current scenario. The bill is expected to add to the cost of projects substantially as the expected time taken for acquisition of land, thereby delaying the entire the process. Apart from the existing requirements of going through the legal and regulatory process, which usually adds up to the time and cost factors of any major large projects. The growth of India is largely dependent on infrastructure development, which the government cannot take up single-handedly, and cooperation of private sector becomes necessary and extremely important. The consent clause will delay the start of the project, further making the required returns from the project difficult to achieve and gain. Thus, if India growth story is to continue, then a user development fee will have to be charged and price of utilities like electricity, water, etc. will have to go up to rake in the revenues. All in all, this is a laudable reform by the government for providing equitable sharing of profits while also moving a step closer to laissez-faire kind of environment. The high rate of migration and natural growth rate of population in urban areas highlight the need for building new cities as existing ones are overburdened. Satellite towns depend on the parent city for their work and employment requirements, while the need of the hour is to build self-sustaining urban centers. So therefore, all in all is that we have to focus also not only just a main city like Hyderabad, but we also extend our terrains in developing other towns and satellite cities in state of Andhra Pradesh.